This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. That's the true power of heaven and earth. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and continually teach us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect Akim that's laboring in his word and truth sincerity. Lord willing, this could be an edifying video. All right, and I had a beautiful conversation with the brother Yakal yesterday. And, Spirit just had it. We were speaking on the times that we're in because gas is still going up. And, that brother, he's on the West Coast. And we were speaking about how, JT, it's going to hit them brothers out there first because the cost of living is higher. All right. And he's seeing gas almost $7 a gallon. So, we come into a time where the Lord, he's going to make a clear distinction on who he's dealing with. And the brother actually, quoted that scripture where the Lord said, then it shall be known who are my chosen. See, the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is getting ready to magnify his name. All right, he's going to magnify his name through the great judgment that he's bringing, but also through greatly taking care of his servants, man. Okay, because it's going to be, the only explanation that you can say of how these certain men still have their sanity. It doesn't look like they're starving. Doesn't look like, they don't have anything to drink. They're not even dirty. Okay, because the Lord took care of us in the wilderness, man. And he's getting ready to do that again, take care of his servants. And the only logical explanation that people will have is that there's a higher divine power dealing with this man. Okay, because everyone else is going to be through. People going to be starving. People going to resort to cannibalism because, ain't going to be no food out here. It's going to be a famine. Okay, people ain't going to have their sanity, man. It's going to be real bad out here. But the Lord is going to make his men more precious than gold, than the best gold. Okay, than the gold of Ophir, man. So, we in a time where we're about to start seeing, and this is something that me and the bro was speaking on, because Isaiah 4:1, it's going to come in stages. All right, they're going to start coming up to you in the grocery store. Okay, they see that you can, you getting some groceries, bitch going to be turned on by that. See all of these terms that these women desire now. They want a man that's over 6 feet. He got to make this amount of money. He got to meet all these expectations. The bare necessities is getting ready to be valuable. All right, just having food, water, and shelter is going to be valuable. But ultimately, who has the wisdom and knowledge of the scriptures and who is Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai dealing with? That's why the Lord, it says this here. This isn't talking about any man because a YN ain't going to know what's going on. Okay. These regular guys in the world who the Lord ain't dealing with, they're not going to be more precious than fine gold. This is referring to the servants of prophet. Salakia, man. I don't know why my work phone keep fucking going. Damn. Okay. So I got this scripture right here. This is Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 5. It says, and I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes are not waxing old upon you, and thy shoe is not waxing old upon thy foot. So the Lord was taking care of Israel, when he delivered us out of Egypt and had us in the wilderness, man. He had it to where, he kept us fresh. All right. So he's going to do this again. Okay, brothers ain't going to be out here barefoot, walking on glass, You walking on, you know what I'm saying? No, man, the Lord, he's going to take care of his men. All right. And it's something that me and the bro was speaking on. It's nothing for the Lord to have it to where, everything in your home is working while everyone else doesn't have, they don't have clean water coming out of their faucets. The Lord got it to where you're still able to wash yourself, clean yourself up, wash your clothes. The Lord is going to greatly take care of his men, man. Okay. And that's why this is going to come to pass. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, and 7 is just a number of completion. Like me and the bro was speaking on, it could be a whole city, because remember, the scripture speaks about how the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. It's going to be a shortage of men out here. All right, a lot of men is going to get drafted to this war. A lot of men is going to die of famine. A lot of men is going to die by the sword. Okay, during civil unrest. So it's going to be a shortage of men, but it's going to be a lot of women. Okay, and these women, they're going to hear of the men of the Lord. Okay, because women, they gossip, and word is going to get out. There's a servant of God, in the city. There's a, word going to get around, man, because, when people see you, you're like the scriptures say, at death and famine, thou shalt laugh. You're going to be in a totally different spirit from the rest of these people, man. The believers of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. While these people are stressed out, sanity going, mental breakdown, no faith at all, no resources for the most part, because a lot of people going to resort to cannibalism. Just out here through, man, bugged out, eating dead animals on the side of the road. You know what I mean? Just through. While these people going to be through, you brothers are going to rejoice, man. All right? As the scriptures say, my servant shall eat and drink and rejoice and sing for joy of heart. Others shall mourn and weep, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. So the Lord is going to take care of his men, man. Okay, and that's one way the Lord is going to greatly magnify his name, by making a man more precious than fine gold, one of his servants. Okay? So the value of this truth, which we already know, how valuable it is, but just the point I'm trying to make, the value of this truth is going to manifest physically. When people can no longer deny that the power we serve is real and he's taking care of us while they suffering. That's why this is, I'm going to read it again. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, chiefly the men of the Lord. And once again, it could be a whole city. It could be 10,000 women then found out, where a servant of the Lord is. Hundreds of women. And I had a dream that, me and the bro Yoramla, we was at an old spot we used to live at. And I went outside and it was women everywhere. And they were looking like they were going out. Like they were going to they had themselves done, And I was just walking through them, looking at them. Hey, that's how it's going to be, man. They're going to shoot their shot. And that's another thing that bro's been speaking on lately, man. That time of spitting game, shooting your shot, approaching, a bitch, cause women don't like to get rejected. So how they shoot they shot is, bitch will make eye contact with you. Bitch will put herself in your proximity and hope that you initiate. No, bitch, no. We in a time where you gonna have to initiate and chase and shoot your shot. Okay? Because there's gonna be plenty of women. As it just said, 7 women shall take hold of one man. Plenty of women that's gonna want to be with a man of the Lord. So, bitch, you're replaceable. All right? And you can't get too comfortable. Saying we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So these women, the Lord, he's going to greatly humble these women, man. For this to even happen, there has to be a lot of humbling. Because these women are proud. All of them. It don't matter if she's butt ugly. Social media has made her proud, man. Okay? It don't matter how big she is. Bitch could be 450 pounds. Proud. DMs flooded. But it's going to get so bad to where they're going to say, you don't have to worry about taking care of me. I'll take care of myself. Just let me be one of your wives. You know? I don't care if I'm wife number 7. I don't care if I'm wife number 10. Just let me be one of your wives. And they're going to serve, man. And this is the beginning of the Israelite man getting his power, his respect back. And see, women, when they're living out their natural role, they're happy. So during this time, women going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't been, live. Because the serpent Esau has lied to you women. Which I ain't going to go down that path. But, we in this time, man, gas is going to keep going up. Babylon is looking bad. Trump so-called suspended Operation Freedom, something like that they called it, where they were trying to force their way pretty much through the Strait of Hormuz. They pretty much had to cower out because Babylon's through. You wasn't about to win that, man. Okay, but we gonna see what happens, because most likely them tiny tots gonna let off an attack, or Iran might let off an attack. We're gonna see what happens. All right. But, we're fastly in this time, man. It's gonna be in stages, like I was saying, a bitch may approach you at the grocery store. You're gonna have exes or women that you knew hit you up on the internet, hit you up on social media. We in this time, man, because people are suffering, man, but it's gonna get worse. Okay? And a servant of the Lord is what's gonna be highly desired. Okay, no, not a pookie nigga, not a scammer, not a YN, not none of these niggas that's exalted now. They all gonna be brought low. Okay? So, I just want to do this quick video. All right. I did a lot of rambling, but, just want to put that vibration out there because, hey, we in this season, man. All right. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.